before making a play here in the state championship game. Renda, again the play fake, toward the end zone. Boyd's got it, and Boyd walks in for the touchdown. Exactly the start to the second half the Dragons were looking for.
Quick start, quick strike, throw the ball down the field, make some plays with this offense, and good job by Angelo Renda finding his open receiver. Brock Boyd does it on the outside. Nobody covered him out there. The safety, Herkamp, trying to come over, thought that he had coverage, I think, from a corner coming back, but nobody was there. And easy touchdown for South Lake Carroll.
Boyd has surpassed the 100 catch mark this year, and now he's got 19.
I'm a believer that this team's going to win the national championships.
The rivalries, it's up there on top of the list, man. And if we allow them to devalue it, we lose a lot of what makes college football special. Don't let them do it. Don't let them devalue what it means to you. And welcome into Juck on Bucks for a boom edition Buckeye commitment Tuesday afternoon as Brian Hartline gets his third commitment in the class of 2026. Wide receiver Brock Boyd from South Lake High School in Carroll, Texas, flips his commitment from TCU to Ohio State. Ohio State now with 3 total wide receivers with Chris Henry Jr., superstar Mr. Everything, Jaden Ricketts, hometown wide receiver from Pataskala, Ohio. He's a burner. And now you add Brock Boyd into the mix. Now, the Ohio State class right now ranks 3rd in the country. Just this morning on the show, I said, look, I always pat myself on the back when I get something right, so I got to own it when I'm wrong, and I was wrong about Evan Goodwin. Later on in that very episode, I said this. Nothing but better. And then you've got Brock Boyd, who didn't come up for a visit, but I think Brock Boyd, who is a TCU commit right now, plays down at South Lake in Texas, is very likely to be in this class. So those two. And 4 hours later, baby, Brock Boyd is a Buckeye. Now, I might have cheated a little bit on that, but I don't anticipate that too many people are super excited about this one, but man, I am. And for several reasons. Let's talk about Brock Boyd a little bit first. So 6'1", 165, not fantastic size, but a wide receiver out of a powerhouse in the state of Texas, high-level Texas football, Texas 6A football, and an offer list that while he was committed to TCU, his older brother goes to Texas Tech. He flirted with Texas Tech a lot. Got the feeling he wanted to stick around Texas. He had offers from obviously Ohio State, but also Oklahoma, Oregon, Tennessee. So he had some big dogs after him for sure. He came up for a visit in March to Ohio State to take in a spring practice, and his recruitment to the Buckeyes, 0 to 60, hyper speed. He's also a track and field guy. 200-meter time, best record for him is 22.14, which is moving. As a sophomore, started varsity at South Lake, and he had 57 catches, 800 yards, 7 touchdowns. As a junior, production machine, torching high-level Texas football with 111 receptions, 1,875 yards, 19 touchdowns receiving, add 1 rushing. We got 20 total touchdowns in high-level football, led him to a state championship. In that state championship game, 13 receptions, which set the record for that division in the state championship game, 178 yards and a score. And 247 has him rated internally as a 3-star, the 106th wide receiver in the country, which is absurd, and I'm going to show you why. They have him as the number 89 player in the state of Texas. On 3, their internal ranking, 4-star, the number 32 wide receiver in the country, number 225 overall, which puts his composite at On 3 and his industry ranking at, his composite at 247 and the industry ranking at On 3, pretty much even, right about 375th ranked player in the country, just in that 4-star range, right around the cut line is around 400. So a low-level 4-star is where he's considered right now. I expect that to jump now that he has obviously been identified as Brian Hartline by a Buckeye-worthy wide receiver. Usually what happens. Now, some people I've seen today, the reactions are not too thrilled about this, as Brian Hartline is still in on several big-time receivers, and what you've got now is 3 spots taken. You're only going to take 4. And you've got a lot of guys that are, with positive momentum, like Caden Dixon-Wyatt, like Messiah Hampton, like Jalen Lott, Braden Robinson. There's other guys on the board that maybe folks were hoping you would land 2 more of them and not Brock Boyd. Maybe Brian Hartline thinks this kid's just as good. Remember, opinions differ on guys like Caden Dixon-Wyatt. On3 has him as a 3-star. 24/7 has him a top 100 overall. So, I think On3 is very wrong about that. But the interesting thing about Brock Boyd is when you look at his ranking and how he's perceived right now, it is almost identical to where Des Jones was ranked coming in the class of 2025, and Phillip Bell, Ohio State's true freshman, who's already showing us this spring that he's a dude for sure. Caden Dixon-Wyatt, he doesn't impress me any more than Phillip Bell did. So whether he is the 4th or one of those other dudes is, I'm not really concerned. If it's Messiah Hampton, I would be the most happy out of all of them. But regardless, I love the 3 they got in the class right now. And if we believe these guys are all solid commitments, Jaden Ricketts, I think we can say for damn sure he's solid. I think Brock Boyd seems like he's pretty solid. And Chris Henry Jr. said he shut it down. When we look at the class of 2025 for Brian Hartline, I think what we started to see was a little bit of a shift in how he's building his class, and I love it. So early on in his career, when there wasn't the transfer portal and you didn't have to pay super highly rated wide receivers a ridiculous amount of money, before he was working with a budget, he just would go and get the best, very best guys he could, right? The top guys in the country, as many as he could load up. If he could get 4 top 100 guys, he was going to go do it. And I think he's now being much more selective. He's working with a budget. He doesn't bring guys in from the transfer portal. So he wants to make sure he gets his guys that if they're, not quite so long in their development, know that they're coming in and they're on a 3-year plan before they're going to see the field. Guys that aren't coming in with a big ego, top 100 guys that know, like, okay, if I don't see the field in year 2, I'm split city. He doesn't want to deal with it because he doesn't bring in guys to replenish it. So he's making sure he's getting his guys. And when we look at the class of 2025, you got your superstar in Quincy Porter ready to go day 1. You got your Emeka, Brandon Innes style can do everything guy in Phillip Bell, a guy outside the top 300. You got Des Jones, a guy outside of the top 300 who knows he's not going to play this year or next year most likely, and he's good with that. He's good with developing another guy outside the top 300. Then you got your superstar athlete project in BP Miller, who jumped through the roof up to a 4-star top 250 guy. And when we look at the class of 2026, it kind of feels similar. You got your superstar, Chris Henry Jr., who will be ready to go day 1, just like Quincy Porter. You got your burner in Jaden Ricketts. You've got Brock Boyd, who probably translates to a production machine slot receiver at Ohio State. And there just seems to be more strategy going into both guys' skill sets, mixing it up like that, and being a little more selective instead of just getting the very best, the ones we would consider the most dynamic athletes, just the jump off the page guys, top 100 guys. Sure, he wants them, not going to turn them away, but he's just being a little more selective in how he's going about this because he's working with the budget, because he's working with the transfer portal. I love the way he's building his room. I think James Laurinaitis is kind of going off of the same format. Let's take a look at Brock Boyd right now and break down what we think of this kid. And here is Brock Boyd, the Buckeyes' most recent commitment. Brian Hartline, number 3 wide receiver in the class of 2026. This guy's a production machine. So obviously we know he's going to put up a whole hell of a lot of highlights here with 1,875 yards and 20 total touchdowns in his junior year, about 30 touchdowns in his career here. I cannot stand when they put the hurdles in the highlight film. It doesn't impress me. It never is a good idea, and it very rarely results in positive plays. So this guy, super stud at adjusting to the ball in the air. The quarterback consistently underthrowing him, and he always seems to come down with the catch. This highlight film goes 7 minutes deep from his junior year, which is a lot of grabs, man. A lot of grabs. Got a really great feel for turning these guys around, consistently underthrown balls, always adjusting to it and coming down with the catch. But how's the speed? I think this play really shows it. When you see him slow down a little bit, those guys are running full speed. He turns on the jets. Let's watch it one more time. We're going to watch him. He's got to slow down to catch this ball. So he slows down right here, catches it, and then turns on the jets. Those guys are running full speed, can't catch him. That is big-time game speed for our dude Brock Boyd. He's pretty electric in short, small spaces. And you can see that on a couple of punt returns in here, really the short area quickness. But a prime-time player. Like I said, that production, like this is a top-level high school in the state of Texas, state champions, and they're going to him. Look at him turning his guy around as soon as he flips his hips. Great catch on the sideline. Like they're going to this dude as their premier playmaker on a state championship team. I love it. I think he's super underrated. Watch the separation he creates here. That's a Jeremiah Smith against Oregon play. 15 yards of separation. Look at this. I mean, just, that's in the state championship, by the way. He's a monster. He's a monster. I love production over traits any day, and I think he's got a lot of traits to go with it. Probably underrated traits. But like I said, we could watch this all day. It goes on 7 minutes. So I'm extremely impressed. I'm sure you guys love that film too. And again, if you can't trust Brian Hartline to do an evaluation, I don't know who the hell else you can trust. So that's that with that. Appreciate you joining me. Please subscribe to the show if you haven't already. Also like the video. Thanks so much, guys. Talk to you soon. Your friend Juck out.